Continuing with the functionalist perspectives, we are moving on to functioning of institutional structures as these have been given by Parsons. So individuals, we see that individuals are part of the society, and the society itself may be considered as a social system. Now, that social system, if it is there, it has to perform the function. It has to be functional. It has to be meeting the needs and requirements of the society. Therefore, we see that social system ensures meeting the basic needs of individuals. Now, these individuals have their own, let's say, likes and dislikes. They have their motivations, and in order to meet their needs, they perform certain roles for meeting those needs. These roles are performed in that particular social system in accordance with the, let's say, requirements or needs of that system. Now, that social system is composed of subsystems, just like the personality system and cultural system and social systems. So there are functional requirements of the social system, and these requirements are in line with the needs of the individuals and the needs of the system. And sometimes we see the needs of the individuals may not correspond with the needs of the social system. So what are the functional requirements of the social system? Now, this requires an in-depth analysis of the social structure of the system. And in this bigger system of the society, we see there could be and there are many subsystems. So, approach to this structural functional analysis has been explained by Parsons in his book, The Social System. So there is a link between the individual and the different social structures of the system. So individuals act, and when we say they act, it means they play certain role for the achievement of a certain, let's say, goal. And they play this role in line with the status they enjoy. So in line with that status, they play a role, not only one role, but multiple roles. And when they continuously keep on playing these roles according to the norms of the society, they take a shape, they take a pattern, they take a certain, let's say, style of doing or performing that role. Now, these roles are expected in line with the status of an individual, and that, as you know, there is a very close linkage between status and a role. A person performs a role in accordance with the status of a person, and in line with the status, he could perform various roles. A person may have different statuses and thereby might play different roles. So social status entails rights and obligations. So by virtue of having a status, a person has certain rights, and by virtue of that very status, the person has certain obligations to adhere to. So status role is the probably the most elementary unit of the social structure, and people have different statuses, and thereby I could say they also have different roles. So status role are the primary mechanism for meeting the essential functions of the social system. So this is more like a prerequisite of the social system. So as I said earlier, the roles are performed in accordance with the status, and then there are certain expectations how these roles are to be performed. And technically these expectations are called as norms of the society. So these norms are established in the society, and these established norms might be considered as institutions. So institution in sociology does not necessarily mean a business firm. Parsons called it as a collectivity. A collectivity is a system of concretely interactive specific roles, and thereby when we see that these roles are performed in line with the norms, and these norms again are not scattered pieces, these are again interrelated, and this interrelated system might be called as an institution. So therefore we could say an institution is a complex of patterned elements in role expectations. Role expectation is the norms. So therefore we see that these norms apply to an indefinite number of let's say activities of the individuals, and these norms are part of a number of institutions. So institutionalized patterns about let's say different areas of the human beings. That area could be property, that could be the economy, that could be the family, the education, the polity. And when we see that interrelated set of norms pertaining to these areas of human activity, we call them as different institutions. So family is an institution, education is an institution, economy is an institution, and all these institutions have structures, and these structures are functional. Therefore, it can be said that society develops mechanisms for making it functional, and these mechanisms are in the form of the institutions, and people work in line under the guidance of these particular institutions which have been developed by the society.